Hello peoples, in today's video we are using the Redeemer with a 3-man crew to run ERT missions. If you have access to one, you already know that it's one of the fastest ways to grind them out. If you don't, and you like the looks, I recommend that you get one. Taking a look at the build, you can see that I've swapped out the weapons for cannons, except for the repeaters on the tail turret. I've also swapped out my missiles for bullet IR missiles. That's because I want to test out IR missiles. I've upgraded my shields to the FR86, and I am using the standard quantum drive crossfield because it's plenty fast enough and it'll save you some money. The link for this Urkel build will be in the video description below, so check it out if you like it. Now get yourself a snack, a tasty beverage, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. A quick thanks to my org mates Hammerduki and Okidokes for accompanying me on this mission and manning the turrets, because without them you'd lose a substantial amount of firepower from the Redeemer. So in our first ERT we drew 2 reclaimers and a hammerhead for targets. So we separate and target the closest reclaimer. I fired off a volley of missiles, as you saw, to kind of soften it up. We're going to close in our range and just start hammering away with our cannons. And against that type of firepower that the Redeemer brings, this reclaimer is not going to last long. They are normally a little bit of a bullet sponge, but within about 30 seconds, as you can see here, he goes pop. So now what I'm going to do is I'm taking some fire from the hammerhead. I decided to pull away, re-energize the shields. As you can see here, the hammerhead was following us and goes booking by on the left side. That allowed us to separate the next target, which is obviously the second reclaimer, and we close in on it and just hammer away with our cannons. We're not going to waste missiles on this guy. Now, if you look in the background, you're going to see that that hammerhead is almost 9 kilometers away, and he's going to turn around and book it back to us pretty quick. So I kind of get why CIG has buffed the NPC hammerheads, but when we go to engage that hammerhead, that thing has got some serious turning ability and maneuvers. Basically, he can outmaneuver the turn radius of a Redeemer, and you'll see that in a little bit here. So what we're going to do is just keep pounding away on the reclaimer. It doesn't really present much of a challenge. Our shields can more than tank getting hit from the upper turret of the reclaimer. So, you know, if it was just by itself, it'd be a no-brainer. I do want to kind of keep an eye out for that hammerhead closing in, which he is. And I decide that I want to rid my space of any potential junk, so we just blow it up so it doesn't interfere with targeting or anything like that. Now we're going to turn our attention to the surviving hammerhead, and as you can see, this guy's already at 4,500 kilometers in closing. And what we're going to do is just go into a nice little orbit around him when he gets in close, and I'm going to try and maintain as many gun turrets on him, the top and bottom, as I possibly can. Now this is what I was talking about. Look at how fast this guy's able to juke around. I mean, it's just crazy what the NPC hammerheads can do. It actually can't keep my nose on him. He's moving back and forth so fast and flipping around. It'd be nice if my hammerhead that I get to use and pilot could do some of these maneuvers, but it can't. Trust me, I've tried. So what we're going to do is just start whittling it down. Now, keep your eye on our shields. They are going down. We get the critical shield warning and all that good stuff, but those shields don't completely go down. So as a result, we're able to keep going and face tanking against this hammerhead and take it out relatively quickly. So even though you can see that our shields are down pretty low, they're still up, and we took absolutely no hull damage yet. So off to the next ERT, and that one's going to be in atmosphere. Now in this one we get a little bit more of a normal ERT. We still have a hammerhead, we have a Vanguard Warden, and I believe we have a reclaimer as well in this one. The Redeemer is going to maneuver a little bit more sluggishly in atmosphere, so I decided to take out the Warden using some missiles, and as you can see, after 2 volleys of missiles, we're basically going to render the Warden completely useless. if you can tell looking at the MFD here, we've blown off both engines and the wings, and he's in a free fall and is going to crash. Notice that we have the reclaimer passing by on our lower left, and directly in front we have the hammerhead. Now in this particular case we decided to go after the hammerhead because he was right in front of us, and after tangling with that hammerhead in the first ERT, we know that this guy is going to be able to maneuver pretty good, so why not go after it? Because we're in atmosphere though, this hammerhead does not have anywhere near the maneuverability of the first one when it was in space. As you can see, I can keep my nose on this guy quite easily, and he's not able to outmaneuver my own ship, which is obviously the Redeemer here. So as a result, we're able to concentrate all of our cannon fire on him for a pretty good amount of time. Notice that his shields are already down, he's already taken hull damage. Our shields are still up, and pop, there he goes. So even with one of our shields approaching critical, we're still able to go after that surviving reclaimer. And as you can see here, the reclaimer is even more of a pig in atmosphere than that hammerhead was. It's not going to last too long. So we're able to do the same thing, come in on it, get all of our turrets and front cannons firing on it, and we just basically melt it. It doesn't last very long at all. Pop. Alright, so now we're going to go off to yet another ERT. So this one here, we have a Hurricane. I decide to use my missiles to take the Hurricane out. As you can see, a volley of 4 had no problem one-shotting the Hurricane, essentially. And here's where we get into the quirks of Star Citizen, right? So if you look down here, I'm taking a lot of fire on my rear shield, and apparently it's from the hammerhead. So I've increased my speed, and again, we're in atmosphere, and I'm going to try to pull away, and as you can see, I am pulling away. I'm at 1,700 kilometers and going out further, and my shields are just continuing to go down. It doesn't make any sense to me. I get the alert that my shields are down. I'm still taking fire from the hammerhead. We're now at almost 1,900 kilometers out, and it's really starting to perplex me as to why this hammerhead is able to keep shooting me and hitting me with, you know, enough of its turrets to be able to take my shields down and prevent them from recharging. I've already flopped over to have my shields at 100% recharge, and I'm boosting away, and this guy's able to stay up with me. Well, if you played Star Citizen for any length of time, then you may have guessed what's about to happen. My shields are not powering up, and there it is, the dreaded 30K. So yeah, that signaled the end of our ERT mission running for the night. I'm sure everybody's run into this. You have everything going good, and then poof, you get the 30K. So that's all I got. This is going to be the end of the video for this week. Let me know what you think. Do you like the Redeemer? You think it makes a really good ship for you know, the various bounty hunting missions, particularly ERTs, when you have at least 2 other friends to man those turrets? Yeah, you have to, you know, split up your bounties, but trust me, you'll grind through those ERTs really quick in this ship. It excels at that. Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to do that thing with the subscribe, like, and notify, and as always, until next time, take care.